Hi everyone, welcome to Adulting with Dion, where we try to clear some doubts about adulting. Grab a drink, take a seat, and let's begin. Today we are talking about career change, specifically changing your career during your 20s. If this is your first episode of Adulting, I would recommend you to watch the first episode, Becoming Dion, to give yourself to get some context of some of the stories that I might talk about. So today we'll talk about why I changed my job, why I changed my industry, and also what made me want to change my job. So if you have not watched the previous episodes, I am a former cabin crew from Singapore Airlines. I was there for 4 years before I call it quits and changed my career. I am not sure if I mentioned this in the episode, but I did not plan to be a cabin crew for long. It was supposed to be a 2 years plan. I wanted to fly for 2 years, save enough money, and then come back to pursue a degree, either in marketing or communications, like full-time. Yeah. But then COVID changed the plans. And then before that, right, I do like to plan for things in life, be it traveling, studying, or working. I do like to plan. But then COVID changed everything, destroyed or ruined all my plans. After I resigned, I actually do plan for a train trip from Singapore to London for maybe 4 to 6 months. But then the Russia and Ukraine war happened, so that disrupted the train service from China to Russia. So that changed plans as well. So I went to Chiang Mai and I also did a Mongolia trip. So that was life-changing. Okay, you can watch a video on it here. Okay, back to the topic of my job. I started my cabin crew journey in 2019, and for me, training went well, everything went well. I did not get the best training award. I got best English, which is my English was not very good. It's quite an irony because my English was pretty bad. If you watch the episode of me studying in school, my English was pretty bad, but I guess it improved over time. And I really like flying and traveling the world. The job was relatively easy. Yeah, the job scope itself is very straightforward, I would say. There are times where the passengers are a little bit difficult, but then they are still manageable. Yeah, I think any crew will agree with this. It is usually the cabin crew that you're working with that is difficult to manage. Yeah, most of the problems come from cabin crew. Yes, I don't know why. Okay, it is usually people that you work with trying to make things more difficult. So when we were training, we were taught SOP, standard operating procedures, and fixed ways of service procedures, and the way to speak to passengers. But then the truth is, when we are flying, after training, there will be higher ranking crew on board that will ask us to do things that are different from the SOP, and then we have to change the methods or our ways of working to whatever they deem is better. Yeah. So sometimes it can be small things drink service. You just serve the drink only, and then another crew will serve the snacks. So that's very straightforward. But then training, they teach you serve the drinks and then you serve the snacks as well after the drink. Yeah. I'm not sure if it's still the same, but yeah, that one is still okay. It's quite a small change, but it will be extremely annoying when the higher ranking crew changed the entire service procedure. Thought of me staying in the industry for long term did come into my mind. I was very comfortable flying around the world, and the company really took care of us during COVID. And even before COVID, I found comfort in the job. It paid pretty well, for a diploma holder. It was not bad. Yeah. During COVID, I didn't like that I was staying at home or just not working. So I did start a small business called Delicate Ornaments, which is selling jewelries online. Yeah. And I also took up a part-time degree, but the part-time degree was very flexible. So it got to a point where I felt I could be doing more, which is why, considering all that, I went into the SQ office as special duties cabin crew. So it is a 1-year tenure opportunity for a cabin crew to join office and help out with the company's operation but on ground. So back then I thought that it would be easier for me to plan my leaves, because I have exams which needs to use leave, or I can use just work from home days and then just go for the exam but still work from home. And before that, I have never worked in an office environment before. So in office, I was part of the cabin crew division, which is in charge of crew motivation, cabin crew operations. My department was also in charge of complaints and compliments as well, and also promotion. I played a role that fit marketing and design, but I do a lot of things, kind of like an intern that does everything. I design collaterals for campaigns, internal campaigns, crew motivational campaigns. I do take a part in planning the campaigns as well, coming up with games, activities, or content for the campaign. Usually it's crew motivational campaigns or service related or grooming related. And I also take photos, record videos, and edit them for the campaign. I design giveaway prizes, product design. I've designed cooler bags, pouches, shoe bags for the campaign. Yeah. To attract people to come and take part in the campaign, I design this giveaway stuff. I did enjoy doing my work in office because it was all creative work and it was what I enjoy, which is what I'm passionate in, I guess. One of the many reasons why I left the company is because I joined special duties. Yeah, just want to give you guys some context of what is special duties before I get into that. When you are in special duties, you are treated like an office staff. And the way the company works is that office staff is usually ranked higher than cabin crew. So cabin crew is usually the lower tier. And to be very honest, I felt like I have more power in office than I was flying. Because when I was flying, I was the most junior, mostly. Yeah. And I flew for 6 months before COVID happened. So I was the most junior for most part of my first 2 years when I was flying. So when I say I felt like I have more power, it is because there will be crew that are even more senior than me. They'll come to me and ask for advice, ask me to help them for crew related issues such as complaints or compliments. There was even one of the in-flight manager that asked for my contact in case he needs help. He can contact me and ask me directly. So things like that make me feel like I have more power, more authority, and I can help more people, I guess. There was once in the briefing room before one of the flight, the in-flight manager, which is the highest ranking cabin crew, he knows that I am from special duties, so he said thank you for your service. And then I was like, no, I volunteered for this, don't need to thank me. So very weird, very, very weird. But then thinking back to it now, I kind of understand, because not a lot of cabin crew want to do this, want to take up this special duties job. You are paid as a cabin crew, so it is technically lower than the office pay. You're doing the same job, but you're paid lesser, which is why I can understand not a lot of people want to take up this job. On top of that, the high-ranking staff in office and my colleagues, they were very friendly and they were very kind to me when I was in office. There were a few cases where the cabin crew will bring snacks for the people in office. Usually that's the case okay, because they want to build a good relationship with people in office. You can say it's kiss ass, but it's kind of normal for people to bring snacks from overseas to bring to office and then treat everybody. And there are always snacks in office. The reporting time to work is also very flexible. There's a fixed time to go in and go off from work, but then if say I'm late for 30 minutes, then I will go home later, 30 minutes later. I think my last straw that pushed me to quitting was getting thrown into business class once I was back in office, from office. So once office 1 year tenure is done, I went back to flying, and then I got sort of thrown into business class. As a special duties cabin crew, I only fly once per month, and it's usually like turnaround or only short flights. When I went back flying, I have just finished business class training, but then I was already like a senior crew that is flying for 4 years already. That's when the problem came about. I was a senior of 4 years, but then the higher ranking crew, they don't understand that I'm 4 years in training. I'm 4 years in the company, but I've technically only worked like 1 year because I only flew for 6 months, and then COVID happened for 2 years, and then before the borders opened, I went into office. So like I didn't really fly much, and I didn't really get much practice or experience. And like I will be very honest, I am not very good at my job at business class, simply because I did not work enough. And like I believe practice makes perfect, and I just didn't get enough practice, even in like economy class also. So business class was like sort of the last push. But then I just remembered my last straw was when I worked in economy class for a Korea flight. It was coming back from Seoul, coming back from Incheon. Then the ranking crew, they were just so bad at their job. He changed the service procedure, he changed everything, the entire flow, and then us as junior crew, there were like very junior crew, there was me, there were senior crew, but then they were like Korean crew, so communication was not there. The service procedure, so when you change service procedure, the most junior crew, they won't understand why are you doing this. Like maybe if you're more senior, you understand because you have more experience. We had like 2 junior crew. That sort of messed up the service procedure a lot. There were like passengers that complained about the service and everything because I think one of the stewardess made mistakes. I don't know how to put this without like trying to explain too much because it's quite technical. Basically, the ranking crew, which is the complex leader, they didn't do their part into helping us understand the service flow or help us work better. Yeah, it wasn't a very conducive environment where you can ask questions. A lot of blame were being pushed to the junior crew. And I remember I was put aside to talk. They sort of scrutinized me for my work. So back then I just came out of the office, so I think it was like maybe 1 month after I came back from the office. So they don't understand that like my job, like my work is not very good.
Editing Dion here. Just want to give you guys more context. I was usually in business class until this flight where I was in economy after a long time and a non-turnaround flight.
Like I do admit that my work is not very good, but then I guess it's the way that you as a senior, the way you talk to people, you know, there is always a better way to talk to people. I believe you don't have to go around scolding people, putting them down. I think that is not a very good leader. And it was just that flight. So that flight really just pushed me to throw my letter. Yeah. I remember they wrote in one of the junior stewardess because she made mistakes. She got a complaint, and I think she was still under probation. So when they write her in, it's just very bad, like just very mean for them to do that. Like you cannot teach her, but instead you just write her in. Not the right thing to do, I guess. And then I remember like someone telling me I cannot use COVID as an excuse. I cannot use special duties as an excuse for not being good at my job. Because I was already a 4-year senior, it would be unfair to a junior that just came into the company to say that I'm not good at my job. But then I was like, what does that got to do with my work experience? COVID did happen for 2 years. I did join office for 1 year. And for me, for my work experience, like full flight, full passenger flight, like full load, I only have it 6 months. And then 3 years happened, and then I came back to flying. So when I was in office, I will be usually given like turnaround flights because I'm working in office, they don't want me to work long flights where I have to be away from the office. So it's usually turn around and I'll come back. So that makes it even worse. Like I don't work more than like 3 hours for a flight. It's usually turn around. And then for me, I think that is not really an excuse, but a legit reason why I'm not good at my job, because I don't know where are things kept, especially in a new aircraft, or like I don't know how to organize my galley, things like that. So yeah, when I compared like how things were when I was in office and then compare it to when I was flying, it's very different. When I was in office, I was highly appreciated for what little work I put in. It doesn't take a lot of effort to be good at my work in office because I do take photos, I do design, I do videos very well, I guess. But then when I was flying, I put in so much effort, but then I was just not appreciated, I guess. It's like maybe flying is not for me at this point. So like I really started to dread going to work, like dread flying almost. It's to give you some context, a flight steward job scope is very different from a flight stewardess. So the flight steward is in charge of the galley, while the flight stewardess are in charge of the cabin, so the passengers. And then the preparation work. So I don't know, it's supposed to be equal because we are paid we are paid the same. But then I think the job scope is very different when it comes to like business class, because business class there are so much more things to like prepare for, like meal service, because it is a tray by tray service. So it's like it's like dish by dish. There are a lot of things to prepare. But the stewardess, they just have to take and then serve. Okay, I think a lot of people will agree that the flight steward and the flight stewardess job scope is very different, which is why I also felt like it's a little bit unfair. I still remember my last flight for like my entire flying career. My last flight was on a 350 aircraft, 350M, and it was a flight to Los Angeles. I remember when I went on board the aircraft, I've never seen this aircraft before, okay, never ever. It's my first time ever working on a 350M. So 350, they have 3 types of aircraft, so like M, LH, and ultra long haul. Yeah, so long haul, ultra long haul, and mid-range. My very last flight, this is like my first time seeing everything, all this galley, all this compartment. This is my first time really working in this aircraft, so I did a very bad job. Like as a galley crew, you will need to know where are things kept, and where the juices are, where the drinks are at, where the different things that you need are at. And I was the only business class trained flight steward, so that kind of makes it worse. I just had a very bad experience. So like my last flight really like solidified and then reassured me that I shouldn't fly anymore, because it's just not fair to me, I feel. Like, I know I've been flying for 4 years. I should have all this experience, but I don't have, because I chose to go office and also COVID happened. And I don't know why did they not give me a 350M aircraft before. I've never thought of it also. Things like this we can usually request, but just me coming back from office, I just don't. I'm just like trying to get back my momentum. Yeah, and I think like the cabin crew industry is a very unique one where people usually get stuck in the industry after a certain period of time. Like if they stay for too long, maybe because the skill set is not really transferable. Like if you were to go to a service industry but on ground, you'll be paid way lesser. Like even if you are a manager role, you will be paid lesser. Like I did mention that I was pursuing a communications degree, right? So like all these things that I've mentioned sort of accumulated and then just made me want to change my industry at the end. So when I finally made the decision to quit and change industry, I know that I have this degree to fall back on because I'm finishing this communications degree, right? and I can change my industry using this using this degree. I can do marketing, I can do corporate comms, anything that's related to my degree and whatever I'm doing for my small business, I think. And then me being a content creator in the social media scene, I guess that helps as well. Okay, I say that I'm changing industry, but now I'm just freelancing as a content creator, so I'm not going full-time into any jobs right now, but I am job hunting for a marketing role. So I have not found any full-time job ever since I left the company, since last year, August. Started my content creation journey officially in January of this year. I went for a 3 months break when I left the company. So right after I left, I visited Chiang Mai, Malaysia, and also Mongolia. I went to Mongolia for 16 days. After I came back, I did not start to job hunt because I didn't want to start a job without a degree. I wanted to leverage on the degree to to negotiate for a higher pay. Yeah. So the idea is to come out, freelance a little bit, and then get a full-time job in either marketing or communications after I get my degree, which is soon. I would say that content creation is very interesting. It is both fun and rewarding, but it's only sometimes. Yeah, there are days where you get creators block and you don't get deals or collaborations, or you don't get income at all. Yeah, I would say that I've been digging into my savings quite a lot actually. So definitely don't quit your job if you have not saved enough, or if you cannot depend on your family to feed you, So right now I have not saved enough money, but then I am shamelessly depending on my siblings and also my parents to feed me while I finish my degree. Yeah. Thank you to my family. For the time being, so I know in the future I will earn money, then I'll return them. For now, I just need someone to rely on. But yeah, so if you don't have savings and if you don't have a support system, you might end up even more miserable and depressed than when you are working a job. So if you quit, you might even find yourself struggling. Yeah, I also want to say that I did ask a lot of my friends and my colleagues before I left my job, because I don't know whether is it just my mind that is doing all the talking. I want to rationalize myself. I want to make sure that I make sense if I left. That was also quite problematic because so for Singapore Airlines, they do have a contract of 5 years, and then when you finish your 5 years tenure, you do get bonus. Yeah, I left in my 4th year, so it's I just need 1 more year to get the bonus. Yeah, so there were a lot of people that were against my decision to leave, but then ultimately I just left because it was not doing me any good. And that Korean flight, it was just, I had enough of people who are in the higher ranks and then not being good at their job or not acting the way that they should. And then also me in office also sort of gave me the confidence to quit, because I was doing not bad in the office. A lot of reasons actually why I left. Flying is not a long-term plan for me, so when I joined the airline, I already started planning my exit. There were days that I was planning my exit because I didn't want to fly forever. I know that it is not very good for the body in terms of the jet lag, the processed food that you are always consuming on board. When COVID really happened, I had friends that were leaving the airlines because they just find it unsustainable. They just don't find it sustainable to stay in the industry when COVID is happening. So which is why I had to take up the degree, because if I were to leave the airline without a degree or without any other job experience, I don't think I'll get any other job that is not service related. So I just want to say that do have a plan when you leave your job, when you want to quit, or save enough money so that you can have enough time to go and figure out what you want to do. Yeah. So currently I'm in my like 9th month of not working full-time. I have been freelancing, still operating my business on the side, earning a little bit, and I'm also starting my content creation, so that is taking quite a lot of my time. And I just want to say, because I'm in my 20s are the years where you should be exploring making all the wrong decisions, doing all the things that you want to do but might not be the right things. I mean, I'm in my 20s, which is these are just things that I hear from other people, from other videos, you know. Try everything you want in life before you hit your 30s. Even if you are in your 30s, there's still time to change. Okay, I don't want to say that 30s you have to fix your life. I give myself until like the age of 35 to figure it out. I don't know why 35 lah, because 35 is the age to get a BTO, right? So I gave myself before that to like fix my career. Anyways, I am going Korea for my summer exchange. I think I did mention before in my previous episodes. I will be in Korea for a month for summer exchange. I will be doing Korean pottery. Maybe I'll come back and I'll open a pottery studio. I don't know, maybe not. We shall see. That might be my new career path. But I'm still going for interviews for marketing roles. So if you would like to hire me, please email me or comment down below. Yes, please. I am not sure if I'm on topic this episode. I was just blabbering about work and also how I'm unsatisfied with life. So, I mean, I guess that's how you kind of sense that you should change your career. When you're unsatisfied with life and it is sort of affecting things around you. Like, one of the reasons that I left was also to stay in Singapore or stay at home to be around my family more. So, when I was flying, I lost both of my grandmothers, like my father and my mother's side. That sort of changed my mindset in that traveling is fun, but then you cannot be with your family for all the special occasions. When my father's mother, so my grandmother from my father's side, when she left us, I was going for a flight. Okay, I think I can say this story. When my mother had the call, I was preparing to go for a Frankfurt flight. So I have my luggage, I had all my things prepared. I was already changed out, I was leaving the house. I was literally opening the gate, wearing my shoes, when my mom received the news that my grandmother passed away. And then I don't know what I just froze. I don't know what I need to do. I just looked at my mom and I go in Chinese. I go like, then how? What should I do? Like, should I still go to work or should I stay at home? And then that's when my mom said, just go to work. Like, there's nothing much you can do here also. And then I just opened my sister's room and then I just let them know, our grandmother passed away and I am going to work. Then they just woke up shocked, don't know what's happening, can't really process, and then I just left to work. I remember that flight was quite miserable. I had to push all my feelings away to remain professional. I did not drop a single tear on board. I did tell my colleagues that I just lost my grandmother, so let me know if I am not doing my job right. Yeah, something like that. When I checked to the hotel, I couldn't process my feelings still, but I know I needed to cry, so I put on some songs that reminded me of my grandmother, and I just started bawling. And luckily, fortunately, I managed to finish that flight, go back home, and then still attend my grandmother's wake. And not only the bad occasions, the good one as well. So I did not attend my second sister's engagement. I missed out on Chinese New Year celebrations. I missed out on Christmas celebrations, New Year's as well. at the start, I guess, the first few times when I missed special occasions, it was still alright. You know, it was very, very fun, kind of interesting. You know, spending Chinese New Year in New York or spending New Year's in London. You know, watching the fireworks. But I think after a while, you kind of missed having your family around. When I really decided to like resign, it was just all these reasons piling up, and I guess the last straw was that Korean flight. And I think if I were to come up with like a list of like 20 reasons why I left, I probably could do it. If you, whoever that's listening, you are unsatisfied at your job, you know, maybe come up with 5. I think 5 reasons is good enough for you to leave your job. Yeah, and make sure there are like 5 legitimate and good reasons. It cannot be like, oh, I don't like my job. It must be like, I don't like my job because it's causing me stress. I'm having burnt out because of my job. Things like that, you know, like good reasons why you should leave the job. And if you have 5 reasons, then just do it. Yeah, and I think for 5 reasons, you should have 5 like backup plans or like things that you can fall back on. You know, be it your family, your experiences, your knowledge. You can go and take some courses or anything like that. You know, make sure you have something to fall back on in life and not just quit out of the whim. And I think there are a lot of people that left the company after me, before me as well. I think a lot of people do take flying as a temporary job, just a 2-year stint. After they fly for 2 years, they just go to another job. And alright, that's all for today. If you didn't learn anything from today's episode, I hope that you have at least enjoyed it a little bit. Yeah. Thank you so much for tuning in. The next episode, we are going to be talking about social media and in relation to like adulting. And I guess it's just very special because we are in a day and age where social media is very prevalent in people's life and how we grow into adults with social media. And I think my generation is the first ever, you know, to experience this as we grow up. So we're going to talk about that next episode, okay? If you are watching this on YouTube, please help me like and share. Do subscribe if you want to be updated on the latest episode. Let me know if you have any questions or tips into changing career or getting a new job, because I am job hunting for a marketing role and it's very hard in this job market. If you are on Spotify, please give this podcast 5 stars, yeah, if you haven't already done so. I shall see you next week, same time, Wednesday, 8 p.m. Goodbye. Thank you so much for tuning in. Bye. I have a new pimple here on my face. It is recovering, I guess, but it's freaking huge. I don't know why.
We're now at this place. Yay, it's gorgeous. The sun is up. So, thanks.
Okay, so now we're at, oh my god, it's at -1 degrees and Elsa is attacking us. Stop, Elsa, stop!
I'm here at this beach, right? And there are slot machines right outside of the gate. And we're entering the same place as the departure. So, I'm not sure what's up. We are here!